Welcome back, everyone, to the LEC post-game lobby. I'm Sjokz, joined by Mac and Armut, the coach and the top laner, for the Mad Lions, who just 3-0'd Rogue, which I think did not seem on the cards at some points in Game 2, but definitely not at most points in Game 3. Armut, let's start with Game 3, maybe. How did you guys come back?
I think we killed Jace at bot lane and we got a huge shutdown from it. I think that was the key point, and I was telling my team, if you guys want to win this game, you should kill Jace at least once.
Good
I think Karzi did his best-ish gameplay. He hit the ult. Like in scrims, it never happened before, so... So yeah, good job, Karzi. I think Karzi actually carried this game.
Yeah, I think there were different people that carried different games, for sure.
Yeah.
I want to ask you about your Gangplank, though, as well. Because first in the draft that we were covering on the desk, it was like, okay, we haven't really seen Armut play it that much, but a top laner usually plays Gangplank, right? The laning phase, was that your fault? Or
I mean, I think at level 3, I was trying to push for the scuttle, then my jungle lost 1v1. I mean, then I just shouldn't go help, and I think he said don't come, because he's already lost the fight. So I just stay in my lane. I just came to fight. We lost the fight. My wave is frozen. I had to TP. Jace doesn't need to TP. It was completely game over for me at minute 3.
it was pretty game over, it seemed like, for all of you.
If it was in scrims, we just say GG or remake ? Yeah, that's what we do.
Pause, maybe, happen. Mac, we're gonna get some B-roll, I think, of Game 2 specifically, but how do you think your boys did today?
I mean, it was... I'm quite looking forward to when the voice comms video comes out, because listening to them play behind the scenes was a real treat today. It was so much fun to listen to them play, both from the perspective of their planning was so good, they were so decisive, they were so commanding, and they were having so much fun. And that's when we play our best. So I think obviously there were a lot of mistakes from Rogue today. I think Game 2 and Game 3, they had a lot of windows they should have taken advantage of that they didn't. But I still think we played actually a pretty good series, and it was a really fun series.
Oh, it was really fun to watch. I'm actually, as an objective viewer, really sad that it didn't get to 5 games, but on the other hand, it was really nice seeing you guys just smurf on some of the team fights. Armut, specifically that Game 2 that we look at here, because Rogue had such a nice team composition. There was one fight in the mid game around Dragon that they just got the perfect team fight, right? Aphelios got, 4 kills, I think, or 3 kills. There was perfect wombo combo with the Ornhorn as well. How come you think that even with a worse comp, you were able to team fight your way out of that game specifically?
I think what I felt in the game, I think their tanks were kind of misstepping in the team fight, so we could be able to hit them freely most of the time. So I think that gave us the option, and we were always we were the ones who were trying to engage on them, because I think that's what is better in the team comp, because if Ornn start with ult or stuff, we had no chance to win. So I think we played really good and aggressive. That was good.
It felt like you guys playing aggressive, kind of like Psychos, actually, especially in that Game 3 throughout the series. I want to know what you think about playing versus Rogue and the fact that you've come back versus them now multiple times in this game, in the last game of the season, in the spring finals, in Game 5. Do you, when you step onto the Rift versus them, do you feel like you have that mental edge over them?
Maybe. I mean, I don't think it's about mental that much, but I think it's about macro game in the mid game, because I don't think they I think we are just better mid game. We just have better macro in the mid game. We just know what to do in the exact timing. Even we are behind, we know what are their positions and what they're gonna do, and they just try to prevent the worst. And they are kind of helping us with some mistakes usually,
as well.
And we just take the win, I guess.
Yeah, Mac, what do you think about that?
I don't know if there is a mental block from Rogue's side against us. I mean, after today, I wouldn't be surprised if there were one for the future. In general, though, I'd echo what Armut says, where I think there are a lot of instances in the mid to late game where they should not be letting us get the leads that we are. Even in the last game, there's no way that their bot lane should be dying as often as they were, and it's not their bot lane's fault, to be clear. I mean, they're just playing 2v4 on bot lane for 7 minutes or something.
They decided to kill me.
Don't kill him. Don't kill him again. Does that have to do with the fact that that Rogue knows how to play the game by the book and knows what decisions to make, meaning you also know what decisions they're going to make, Mac? Or is it not that simple?
I mean, it's not always that simple, but in general, I would say they are a fairly predictable team. And we're a very decisive and sometimes very unpredictable team. So in the last game, honestly, I think if you look at like the early game, a lot of the things that we're doing, they shouldn't work, but they work if the other team doesn't respond correctly. So we're just better at being decisive in the moment and playing kind of like psychos. And honestly, in the last game, in the early game, I think we turned it into like a scrim almost, you know?
That's what it looked like. But that always comes from a belief in your own ability and a belief from your own mechanical as a team abilities over the other team, right, Armut? Because otherwise you don't go for those plays, right?
Yes.
Okay, great. So you're mechanically better than Rogue. Trapped him. Just kidding. The key player of the series was Kaiser with 40% of the votes. I'm really happy he won this vote. I think it was stacked because Elyoya was in it as well. Humanoid was in it as well. When Armut's in it, he always wins it. So this helped. It was 40% of the votes, showing Mac that it was kind of split between the people at home. But man, maybe if you listen back to the cast, they had like a really funny thing about Solid Snake and the fact that he put all his points in Sneak and whatnot, because he, at some points with Rakan in game 1 specifically, is that something that is trained on specifically in the team, like the opportunities to get flanks for the support?
It's something that you can break down and learn, and we have in the past, but in general, I would say almost all of the, like the reason why we're a good team and why we can do this creative stuff is because the players have a lot of agency to be creative. So most of what we train is just like understanding fundamentals and understanding how the game works. If they show on this wave, what opening do you have? And Kaiser and all of the team are really good at finding those openings just because they understand the fundamentals of League really well.
There was a lot of talk, of course, about you guys being very vocal about we feel a bit burnt out. It's been a lot, and I think a lot of people were like, yes, tell us again, whatever, which I think was a little rude because you're allowed to feel like that, right? After a busy schedule and quarantine and whatnot. Seems that you're peaking though. Mac, how do you feel about the level of the team now?
Yeah, pretty good, pretty good. I mean, I'd actually like to say something about that.
Yes.
Because I think throughout the split, I kept my mouth shut because I heard a lot of sentiments of people saying, oh, like memeing us for being burnt out and saying, oh, like Chinese players work so much harder, LPL schedule is so different. And I actually think there was a lot of kind of rhetoric and narrative of people discrediting us for just openly being willing to talk about the fact that we're like stressed and tired. And I think that's really irresponsible from the position coming from a player, from a coach, from someone in an organization, from a manager, whoever it is. I think that's massively, massively disregarding the responsibility that you have as an organization to look after your players' mental well-being. So yeah, I think I'm pretty glad that we showed that we could bounce back from that. And the way that we did that was by taking time to rest and recover and being willing to go with the process, right? And I don't think we'd be in this position now if we'd just been like, no, play more solo queue and keep grinding. You can't win anything without sacrificing. Like, what a stupid idea.
Yeah, I think people will always make, I think there's a balance, right? Because I can understand some people would like take a joke here or there, but that's a difference between really being like, why are you talking about this? This is no excuse, whatever. I think it's super valid to talk about. And I'm really happy that you guys did. And also it's showing, Armut, that it's kind of, you approached it in the right way, right? Do you feel, how do you feel at this point in time in terms of if you have peaked and if you have divided the year correctly, let's say, right before Worlds and the Summer Finals?
I mean, in my career, this is kind of like what I did usually. I've just like, first weeks, I'm just a bit chilling, a bit working. I mean, but this year I really needed to like some takeoff from the League of Legends because the MSI schedule and like going to Worlds before that, things like this, like made me zero vacation. And only League of Legends, and I'm also streaming a lot also, which really hurted my mental. I just lost my motivation to play League of Legends and stuff. So Medline's like coaching stuff, the organization helped me a lot to get over with this. I mean, they supported me. They said like, yeah, take your time. Like, we all knew that it was the playoffs, that's what it matters. So yeah, I think we scaled well.
We scaled well into the late game of the season. I love it. I feel like this is also a unique thing that is very important for your constellation of teams specifically. And I say that because we know that Marek has talked a lot in the past also about, I need to have fun playing the game and sometimes I don't, and then it just doesn't work for me. So yeah, I guess that's something that you know how to work with in your team specifically.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think if like we're all young people and we're all living a really stressful, really full-on lifestyle, and we're all like sacrificing a lot of time for this. And I think if you're, not having fun and you're not enjoying it while you're doing it, then like, what's the point? My dad plays a lot of golf, and my dad sometimes says that you have to stop to smell the flowers along the golf course. And I really, really like that saying. Because, yeah, if you're passionate about something and you have to be passionate about League of Legends to be a professional League of Legends player, then you should enjoy it along the way.
For in-gamer terms, that would be like, stop to touch the grass. And then say, I think it's the same for any a high-stress job. You need to find ways to also let your hair down once in a while. This win does mean that the Mad Lions lock at least top 2.
We dodge play-ins.
You officially cannot get stuck in the play-ins. Can I get an applause? Okay, no. Okay, kind of awkward. Regardless, I know you guys have joked about it in the past, but, back at Worlds now. Armut, you're also back at Worlds, but now you're with the Mad Lions. Are you already starting to think about what you can do there in the group stage? And of course, you've got the finals, of course, next week.
I mean, I think myself, as individually, I think I'm coming much stronger than ever, because starting from the laning to mid game, late game, macro and everything, I think I'm just much better player than I was before. I think Mad Lions gave me a lot. So I'm looking forward to see which level I am at right now.
Mac, how many cold sweats do you have about the Down 1 series sometimes?
Oof. Yeah, I mean, there are always regrets there. There are always regrets there for sure. Personally, I'm super, super looking forward to, and I really, really, really want to play FPX at Worlds. I love FPX. I think their playstyle is just like the epitome of everything that I believe in and that like Mad Lions as a team tries to embody. And yeah, I love the way that they play. So I want to play against FPX, or at least scrim against FPX a lot.
Do you think your team is the best suited to taking down an LPL team in a best of 1 of hopefully also in a best of 5 for us Europeans out of Europe?
I think unless you're willing to do certain things like make aggressive plays to snowball the game, then you cannot play against LPL teams, or just against any like top tier team, Down 1 included as well. And I think a lot of the teams in Europe either don't understand how to take the like 60 or 55% winning plays, or they're too afraid to do them. And I don't think that you can ever win internationally if you can't do that.
Worlds is after the finals. Of course, we still have the finals with this win. Mad Lions locked the spot next Sunday, summer finals. Rogue will, of course, be facing the winner of Fnatic versus G2. And a reminder that Rogue are already locked at Worlds. The last World spot goes to G2 versus Fnatic. So let's talk about first Rogue. Rogue is now down to the lower bracket. They still get a chance to qualify again for the finals. Armut, if they're up versus Fnatic or G2, what are their chances, you think, of making it again?
You mean Rogue?
Yes, Rogue.
Okay, what I think if G2 drafts better, and if they like change their game style, like I think against us they choose both side play, but I think they should be able to like play top side as well, because I think Wunder is pretty good as individually. So I think if they play like better comps with better champions, I think G2 is the probably strongest from all of them. Yeah.
All 3.
So I'm expecting to face G2 again.
Okay, let's take a look then, because Fnatic versus G2 will be the game tomorrow. So we'll take some time to preview that. This is the final spot for Worlds. There's an SOT here apparently. Sound on tape. Roll it, production. Ah, so hyped. Playoffs has been so hyped so far, and together with like the C9 versus TS7 and whatnot, tomorrow is going to be lit. Mac, G2 versus Fnatic. Armut giving it to, if they get the better drafts, to G2. I think that historical precedent always makes you lean a little bit more towards G2. Do you have a differing opinion?
I would say that based on what we've seen, I think G2 is currently the better team, and I think Fnatic has more obvious points of weakness to exploit, whereas G2's weaknesses are a little bit more subtle and less obvious. So I would probably give it to G2 on balance as well.
You guys outfought G2, of course, and I think Fnatic is also a team that is willing to do that. do you think that's a strategy they should go for tomorrow to beat G2 Fnatic in terms of throwing them down into the skirmishes and into the team fights?
Yeah, I mean, Fnatic can definitely drag them down to their level and beat them with experience in a sense, you know? That sounds a bit derogatory, I don't mean it that way, but I think that is Fnatic's biggest win condition for sure, is getting into team fights and just being like, okay, upset versus reckless, let's do it.
Let's go. Okay, fantastic. Thank you. Is there anything else you guys would like to share with the PGL audience, or you good?
Just a big thank you to all of the fans that supported us through this split. This split has been pretty difficult in a lot of ways, as we mentioned, but the people who, you know, really stuck with us through all the way, even when things were going badly, and sent of our players and sent me and all of our coaching staff like lovely messages of support. You guys are the best.
Awesome. Of course, you know, this is not it for the Mad Lions. You will be playing the final next week. It's going to be so hyped no matter who you're playing. Super excited to see if you can become the back-to-back champions. That'd be nuts, Armut.
Yeah, that will be.
Sounds pretty good, huh? We'll see what happens. I'll let you guys go home and get some rest. That was all from us here in the LEC. But the LCS is coming up later tonight with 100 Thieves versus Team Liquid. We'll be back tomorrow for the epic showdown between G2 and Fnatic. Don't miss it.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Rogue wake up in a cold sweat once every few weeks, reminiscing about that lost Game 5.
Armut into the two-time TCL champion. Mad Lions are going to win. In the new era of European League of Legends, it is the Mad Lions.
Right now, the Kings match between Rogue and Mad Lions is the best League of Legends you can watch in Europe.
Hands. Flash. There's the grab him, there's the hook, there's the flash away. You just can't escape this. Kazi on his lonesome, killed off by Hansama.
But don't get cocky now because, by the way, remember we have cards in our team, okay?
What? But still playing. Okay.
There's the TP early on. Rogue will be able to walk away from this one. Lots of damage down on Odoamne, he's dead. Human has realm warp, there's the quickness, and just look at the damage coming out from the machine gun rise. Already Hansama is down, Mad Lions once again can be chased down. Armut unstoppable, and Mad Lions 10 to 1 up. Rogue, he's behind you, and here comes the quickness. Kaiser immediately dives onto Larson, and Larson is popped down. Kaiser!
Man is absolutely slaughtering Rogue.
Onto Odoamne here, push him away. All in coming in. Odo wins this, he's got the ghost. There's the brittle. He's a tank, DPS, mage, wizard, assassin. It's all on Humanoid and Armut to put the damage down here. It's Velios has already gone down. He's in the GA, now he's dead. Odoamne trying to get away. When they get the soul.
Grimly no flash, but TP for Odoamne.
They can turn it back in as Odoamne comes in for the fight. Kaiser low already. Odoamne looking for Kazi as well. It's going to knock him back. No flash, no ability to get away.
Flash arrow.
The arrow coming out. It's going to hit onto Inspired. There's the cannon branches as well. Humanoid going forward. Everforce comes out. This because the guard as well. Inspired trying to get away, but he's going to get locked up with the concussive blows. But he's outside of range. Kazi can't get the damage down. And the turnaround is coming out. Hansama on the killing spree now. They're looking for Odoamne. That's 3. And how do Mad Lions keep winning these fights? Mad Lions, they make their way to finals.